Do you really know the impact human trafficking has on America? Due to human trafficking, 109,500 kids go missing each year in America. It is now commonly referred to as modern-day slavery. While families across the nations are worried that their kids are being kidnapped and don't know what's happening to them, that impact that kids have on them when it happens. Police, government, all of them are trying to find solutions to prevent this from happening, but it's too hard to prevent every single human trafficker getting millions and millions, billions of kids in the whole world. And the world's a big place, so we need to find solutions to stop this. And governments have been trying, and there is many, but human traffickers have ways of getting around and ways of finding kids until cops find them. But then there's a whole another chain of human traffickers, and it's just a whole loop that keeps going and going and going. And yes, they might find some, but not all.
FBI agents are usually the one that runs cases with human trafficking, and we wanted to get different points of views from different leaders in the world that have different experiences with human trafficking and different points of views with human trafficking and impacts they might know of. So we got different interviewers today, and we're going to start off with one high school superintendent for Bernalillo.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Gwen Maldonado.
What do you do for a living?
I work with principals at Bernalillo Public Schools, and I get to be on all of our campuses to do that.
What do you know about human trafficking?
Well, I know it's one of the number one problems in the world. We think slavery's gone, but it's actually worse. The numbers are higher than what we've ever seen in our history. It involves, majority of the time, women and children, and it's one of the largest money-making industries out there.
Human trafficking is a global phenomenon that is progressively increasing each year. It generates billions of dollars and is still generating it each year. People all around the country in America are getting traded off without anyone even knowing. And when Maldonado really talks on how this thing is still here, and people think that slavery has ended and it's gone, but it's still here. So we need to find solutions to prevent this, and we're going to be back with Gwen Maldonado talking about what impact she has with this and how it impacts people and how you handle this situation.
Industries out there.
What impact does human trafficking have on kids?
Well, I don't know. I can't say I know exactly the impact, but I know that trauma has a major impact on any child. So it can impact emotional maturity. It can impact their ability to learn and focus. When a child is put through a traumatic event, it takes quite a bit of social emotional support and healing for them to become whole again and to be able to focus on what they need to do to mature and grow and learn.
Have you had any experiences with kids that have gone through this?
I have not. We've worked with many students that have had traumas, and I can't say that it would be the exact impact as human trafficking, but it's pretty devastating when a child goes through a major life trauma.
Do you think you could come up with any solutions that could help kids get through this after them going through it?
Well, the experiences I have had with children that have been through some major traumatic experiences, one of the major impacts positively is relationship building. So educators are one of the main adults that are in children's lives. We're with them more than their families are. And so if we can connect with a child and help them to see that there's one person that cares about them, one person that they can trust, we've seen kids change and grow, and they're able to overcome many of their obstacles.
She really talks on the impact human trafficking has on kids and gives good points about how kids can react to this and how their mind is based on what has happened in their past. But now we were gonna introduce a firefighter that really has good points and interests about this thing called human trafficking.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Henry Maldonado.
What is it you do for a living?
I work for Albuquerque Fire Rescue.
Today we'll be talking about human trafficking. Do you know of any experiences in the fire department with human trafficking?
I did run on a call one time where a girl was taken, like kidnapped, and we found out through APD that she was gone for a while. I don't know, and they kind of suspected it was kind of a human trafficking situation.
Do you know any solutions to prevent human trafficking from occurring or happening?
I think it starts with keeping better track of your children. As parents, I think you need to know where they're at and have good communication, open communication with them, to have them check in and know where they're going to go, who their friends are, who they're going to be with, and stuff like that.
He really starts to hit on the point of how different solutions can have different impacts about this topic, and he really does start giving good examples about good solutions to help this. And we'll be back with him talking about the impact it has and how they recover from this.
What do you think can help kids recover after helping this happening to them?
I just think that it's a very sensitive situation for them, and I think no one knows what happened when they got they got kidnapped or when they got human trafficked. I also think that they need a good foundation at the home to help them recover from anything, and maybe get some psychological help, some counseling and stuff like that.
He begins to start talking about counseling and how it can have an impact to help a kid, which is why we are going to introduce a counselor from Madison Middle School.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Lindsay Berg. I'm a counselor at Madison Middle School.
Okay. Today we're going to talk to you about human trafficking. So have you had any experiences or know of any experiences with this topic?
Not personally. We did have kind of like a training for all APS school counselors about human trafficking, because it's something for us to keep an eye out. There's a lot it was with the police officers that came in to talk to us about it and train us about a lot of times when kids are homeless or they're staying at a shelter, they're seeing that a lot of human traffickers are targeting those students. So keeping an eye on students that may be living in a shelter, may that be running away from home, things like that, because they're a target for that kind of thing.
She really hits the point how different kids are targeted for different reasons, and we're going to bring her back to talk about solutions and how she has a connection to the kids so they can open up to her.
Things like that, because they're a target for that kind of thing.
Do you know any solutions or recovery to help students that have suffered from this?
So if we ever heard of a student that had gone through this, we would definitely reach out and try to get them into counseling. Definitely there's going to be some trauma because of this. And so that person needs to be, involved in any kind of counseling that they feel comfortable with, but definitely something to kind of work through that past trauma.
Do you feel that you have personal connections with students so that they can come and talk to you about this?
Definitely. I think that I try to have a good rapport with students here. If they ever opened up to me about something like this, I would definitely, do my best to try to help them however I could.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parents care so much about their kids, they would never want anything to happen to them, especially something like this. Which is why we're going to ask Gwen Maldonado and Henry Maldonado, married, about how they would react if their kids ever had to go through this or experience this, how they would deal with it or acknowledge that their kids actually been taken.
Counseling and stuff like that.
You are a parent, yes?
Yes.
How do you think a parent reacts to this, and how do they process when their kid is taken?
For me personally, I don't think I would ever want to think about something like that happening to my child. I don't know how I would cope with it. I don't think I could cope with it. I just feel like I'd be stuck, and I'd be wanting to try to figure out a solution and try to find them, and do anything I can help with the police and stuff like that. But I would not wish that on any parent.
Thank you.
He really shows how much he cares about his kids and how each parent wouldn't even know what to do if this ever happened. And now we're going to hear Gwen Maldonado's opinion about this topic and if that ever happened to her kids.
You are a parent, yes?
Yes.
As a parent, what do you think goes through your guys' heads if this ever happened to your kid? Like, how do you get through this?
I don't think any parent really could ever get through that. I think that'd be the biggest, worst nightmare that any parent could experience. The unknown of where your child is, the unknown of who's doing something to them, and if they're being hurt and you can't help them. So I don't think that any parent gets over or would be able to function healthily after that.
Thank you.
As you can see from this whole documentary, there was a point to make this. Human trafficking is a major problem in our world, and yeah, as you can see, it needs to be stopped. It has different impacts on many people and has impacted many people. There will always be that feeling that something bad may happen, and it might. The thing is what you do after. There's always a solution to help you. There is never something so bad that you have to do something that you will regret. There's nothing that can happen that will make your life end. There is always a way out. There will always be a mountain to climb. There will always be a fence to jump. Just know there will always be a way out. And no matter what, you have people around you, even strangers. Just talk to someone. It doesn't matter. This documentary was put together to help people and to show how the impact it has on people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And just remember, there is always a way out.